Hey, it's Tara, your yoga bestie, and I've got a great class for you today. No props needed, but I always like to have my blocks, so if there's anything that you like to have with you, please feel free to bring it along. We'll start out in any position you want, seated, reclined, whatever sounds best to you. And here's Lionel, he's all ready. So determine where you want your arms and legs to be, and then settle in, maybe wiggling into your space. And we'll close our eyes as we start to tap into our Ujjayi breath. So inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Taking this time to connect with our breath, our energy source throughout our practice. So as we inhale, we'll feel the space right below the navel start to lift. As it draws upward, we're going to feel an expansion through the belly, the side bodies, the rib cage, and our breath draws all the way up to where it lifts the collarbones. And then on our exhalation, we're going to feel our belly button draw in towards the spine, allowing us to use all three parts of the lungs. Our Ujjayi breath is an audible breath, so we're going to hear a snoring-like sound in the back of the throat, kind of like we're fogging up a mirror with our nose. So you want to be able to hear your breath. And see if you can create a rhythm where you're inhaling to the count of 3 or 4, 5, maybe even 6. Exhaling the same, or you could always make that exhalation a little bit longer, knowing that your breath will fluctuate throughout the practice. So, if you need to take a break or back off because you start to notice it becomes shallow, feel free to do so. But while you're tuning in, we've been talking about the Yamas in my class. The Yamas are the first of the 8 limbs of yoga, and it's how we show up in the world. We are in the 4th of those. There's 5 in total, which is brahmacharya. And that translates to celibacy most of the time, but we're utilizing it as using our energy wisely. And our focus this week is on sustainable strength. So we're doing what matters without draining ourselves. We're strong without burnout, and we're using effort without excess. So it's a way of being able to determine how much energy is needed as we move throughout the practice. On our next inhale, let's find a nice full body stretch. We extend the arms up overhead if we're on our backs. Any other movement, if we're in a different position, just kind of checking in to see what your body's feeling like today. And then we'll bring our hands together at our heart center, our Anjali Mudra, as we set our intention for our practice, which might be brahmacharya, or using our energy wisely for sustainable strength, or maybe something else comes to mind that speaks to you in this moment. Please honor that. We'll take another big breath in here. Exhale, let it go. And from here, we'll open up the eyes. We'll find some movement. We're going to meet in our standing forward fold at the front of our mat. No rush, but once you make it there, make sure your feet are separated about hip distance apart or 2 fists in between the feet. And you can have a really big bend in the knees if you like, maybe reaching for opposite elbows, maybe bringing the arms behind the back. You can also walk your hands from side to side, or if you have props, maybe place those props underneath your hands, bring the floor closer to you. And then feel free to bend those knees a lot as you shift that weight forward towards the ball mounds at the feet. Couple breaths as we inhale. Exhale. Big breath in. And then on our exhale, release any arm variation you have. Start to bring in your feet towards one another. And we might have a slight bend in the knees as we roll all the way up to standing. As soon as the head lifts, let's reach those arms up backward. And then exhale, hands come to heart center. Let's work those shoulders up, back, and down. And then on our inhale, arms reach, gaze lift. Exhale, come into your forward fold. Inhale, we lengthen halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. And then we'll plant the hands, bend those knees to step it back into your plank pose, super strong. We'll spread through those fingers nice and wide, feeling the breath as the rib cage expands in the side bodies. We inhale. And then let's exhale, lowering to our bellies for 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. We're all the way down. Tops of the feet come to the mat. Hands are underneath their shoulders as we inhale, lifting up cobra pose. Exhale, we lower. Just starting to move through these at the pace of your breath. So feel free to change up anything, maybe coming onto your fingertips in a wide stance, and then bringing in some shoulder dips. Next time the forehead lowers, go ahead and bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck those toes under as you make your way into your first down dog of the practice. And just kind of see how this feels by bicycling the legs out, maybe bending the knees as you move the hips from side to side. Full breath in. Exhale. Inhale, we shift it forward, plank pose. Exhale, we lower, maybe to a hover this time. Inhaling into your cobra or maybe up dog. And then we exhale into our down dog, lifting up those hips. From here, let's go ahead and lift up the right leg. We'll open up that hip, heel to behind, knee up towards the ceiling. Staying here, making some circles, going in one direction, going in the other direction. And then as we inhale, we'll straighten that leg. Exhale, we're moving into active pigeon. So bring that ankle over towards your left wrist. Back toes stay tucked as we come onto our fingertips in a wide stance. And we can inhale, lifting. Exhale, lowering as the elbows come out to the sides, just kind of finding some movement here. Or if you prefer, as you come forward, you could always hold it here. If you're lifting and lowering, next time you lower, we'll hold it, really leaning into that left side so you can feel all that joy into your right glute. One more breath in. Exhale. And then pushing into the mat, we'll lift up like up dog. We lean into this right side, and we have a couple options. So we can come into a supported version of our fallen triangle pose, which is basically just supported side plank where we lift up here, or we extend this right leg and then we lift up those hips as the left arm reaches. And if we are in this version, we might find some movement here, like bending and straightening the legs, making some circles. And then inhale, lift up. Exhale, bend your back leg. We're taking a step over. So left foot is forward. So if you're in the version that's supported, you just swing that left leg forward. And then we'll all bring our right knee in towards our chest as we come into eagle pose. So right leg is on top, which means right arm comes underneath, shoulders are down, elbows are away from the chest as you find your focal point here. Take a full breath in. And then as we exhale, step the right foot back. And then we twist towards the left. So releasing those arms, we'll scissor them out as right arm comes forward and left arm comes back. Continuing to bend in that forward knee here. Inhale. Exhale, lower that right hand down. So you're in a runner's twist. We'll move into wild bird, pulling that left foot behind you, coming in with a hips lift. And you might find some movement in this space as well. Bending and straightening the legs, making some circles with the arm. Inhale. Exhale, gaze towards the front of your mat. Step it forward. And then bring that back foot in for our pyramid pose where we'll keep both legs straight. You might even start to shift forward and back here. I like to play with lifting up the toes and then lifting up the back heel. Big breath in. And then exhale, come into your reverse eagle. So bring that right knee behind, bending both legs a lot. You might even bring your hands to heart center here. Big breath. Exhale, lower those right toes because we're going to come onto our seat like we're setting up for a seated twist. But we're going to make our way all the way onto our backs, coming into eagle pose on our back. So left leg is on top, which means left arm is underneath. And see if you can get nice and long, like you're trying to reach in those opposing directions, but make contact with your mat. And then as we exhale, bring it to center. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, crunch. Inhale. Exhale. Nice. We're here for 4, 3, 2, on 1. Hold it in so strong. And then we'll release for a spinal twist. So let the legs fall over towards the right. Arms can tee out as we gaze past those left fingertips here, just allowing the body to surrender into the floor and into the mat. Exhale. And then bring your gaze to center. Bring your legs to center. We can give a nice squeeze as we start to rock and roll forward and back, meeting in our mountain pose at the front of our mat. So shoulders up, back and down. Let's inhale, arms reach, gaze lifts. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we lengthen. Hands plant, gaze stays forward as we step it back to our plank pose. We can lower with muscle. Inhaling into our cobra or up dog. And then we'll exhale into our down dog. And from that down dog, lift up the left leg this time, opening up that hip. Stay here, start to make some circles, going in one direction, going in the other direction. And then as we inhale, reach that leg up. Exhale, we're moving into that active pigeon, so bring your ankle over towards the right wrist. Back toes tuck as we come onto those fingertips. And just like before, we can lift and lower, or maybe as we lower, we hold it there. So just checking in. If you're lifting and lowering, next time you come forward, we'll hold it, kind of leaning into that right side. Big breath in. Exhale. And then lift up like up dog. We lean into that left side where we have those two choices. So we can come into the supported version, or we extend through that leg and we lift up those hips. Fallen triangle, maybe finding some movement here. Inhale, we lift it up. Exhale, bend that back leg if you're taking that step over. Otherwise, you're swinging the right foot forward. And then we come to standing as we work that left knee in towards our chest, or our eagle pose, so left leg on top, which means left arm comes underneath as we sit back into that heel. Shoulders are down, elbows are away from the chest. Find that focal point to focus on. That's going to help keep you balanced here. One more breath in. Exhale, step it back. So we're in those crescent legs, and then we come into our twist with those scissor arms. So left arm is forward, right arm is back, continuing to soften through that forward knee. Gaze can be towards your back thumb. One more breath in. Exhale, bring that left hand down, right arm is up for our twist. And then we move into wild thing. So we bring that right foot behind, coming onto the ball of that foot where we can hold, or we can find movement here. Big breath in, we lift. Exhale, gaze towards the front of your mat. Step forward with that right foot, and then hop in the back foot for pyramid pose, or you might find that little shifting of forward and back here. Take a big breath in. Exhale, bring that left knee behind the right for reverse eagle. Maybe it's no hands here as we keep squatting it down so strong. One more big breath in. Exhale, lower those left toes down so it's like we're coming into a seated twist, but we already know better. So we're going to come right onto our backs, setting up for our eagle pose on our back. So right leg is on top, right arm comes underneath, and then we get nice and long through here as we inhale. Exhale, we crunch. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. We're here as we exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Hold it in so strong. And then we release for that twist. So legs can go over towards the left. Maybe that gaze goes past the right fingertips as we sink into the floor. One more big breath in. Exhale. And then let's bring our gaze to center. We'll bring our legs to center. And we'll make our way back up to that mountain pose, where we'll inhale, arms reach, gaze lifts. Exhale, twist towards the right, bringing those scissor arms into it. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, we twist to the left. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we lengthen halfway. Hands plant, gazes forward as we step or float it back, making our way to our down dog so we can take our vinyasa or skip it, yogi's choice. Big breath in. Exhale, soften those knees, gazing forward as we step or float to the front. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, forward. We reverse. And then we twist to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, we twist to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, forward. Inhale, lengthening. Hands plant as we make our way to our down dog. Take a full breath in. Exhale, soften those knees, gaze forward as you step or float to the front. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, forward. Let's reverse. Exhale, twist. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. We lengthen, hands plant as we step or float it back, making our way to our down dog or any resting position of choice. How you doing? That's our warm-up for today. So you should feel very accomplished by this point, because if you're already in the know, you know. But if you aren't, if you're new to my practice, then we do 2 main sequences, which I call peanut butter and jelly. And most of the poses in those sequences we just did in the warm-up. So, which is great news, right? But that just means that we don't need to acclimate to those as much when we start to move through them in our main practice. So once we get into it, we do peanut butter 3 times, we do jelly 3 times, and then at the end, we bring them together for one delicious peanut butter and jelly sequence sandwich, which is my personal favorite. So let's start out in down dog. How's that sound? As we do so, we're practicing our brahmacharya by using our energy wisely with sustainable strength. So coming into your down dog, take a full breath in. Exhale, let it go. And then we inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale. We'll bring that knee to nose as we bring that foot all the way through. And since it's our first time really getting into this runner's lunge, let's start to open up by coming forward and back from runners to a pyramid-like pose. I like to bring my blocks into this, but totally up to you or what you have available to yourself here. Next time we bring it forward, let's move into our full crescent pose. So arms can reach up overhead. You might have to walk that right foot out a little bit. You might even find a little bit of a bounce here, just kind of easing into it. And then we work our shoulders down as we lift up through our chest and gaze. Big breath in. Exhale, pick up the back leg, moving into eagle. So left leg is on top, left arm comes underneath, sitting into that heel as we find that focal point. So already feeling familiar. Take one more breath in. Exhale, step that left foot back, and then we twist with those scissor arms towards the right. Now you can stay here if you want to incorporate an exalted, bring that left arm up, right arm down, which gives you a little bit of a back bend. And then the left hand comes down, right arm up for our twist, moving into our wild thing. So right foot comes behind, lifting up, gaze and go towards the right fingertips. And then as we exhale, gaze down, step it forward for that pyramid pose. So you can stay in pyramid if you like that shifting forward and back, cool. Maybe as you shift forward and back, you play with little hops. So I like to bend my back knee as I do that. And then when I shift forward, I might find some airtime. You know, you never know. It's worth finding some play if you like to. Otherwise, just stay here. No big deal. One breath in. Exhale, reverse eagle. So bring that left knee behind. Again, maybe hands can come to heart center as you find that squat. Full breath here. Exhale, step it back, goddess. So heels in, toes out. You can have your arms up, have your hands at heart center. You might find a little bit of movement here. There's no music, except for the music that might be in your head. Oh, it was so crazy, I fell over. You might sit back into the heels. So lightness in the toes here as we inhale. And then we're moving into half moon at the back of our mat. So you might have a prop here as we lift up through the right arm and leg. Open up. Big breath in. Flexing through that right foot. Exhale, bring it down into your runner's lunge. And maybe move through a vinyasa, this first round at least, before we make it into an infinity flow. So if you like your blocks, bring your blocks to the back. And we'll inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, we bring it through. Find that shifting forward and back from runners to pyramid, like pose. You can always lower that back knee down, but just see what's happening on this side that might be different than the other side. Maybe there isn't anything. That's cool too. And the next time that we shift it forward, full crescent pose. So arms will reach up overhead. Maybe finding that bounce on this side. And then we soften that knee as we lift up through the chest. Inhale. Exhale, pick up the back leg. Moving into eagle pose. So right leg is on top, which means right arm comes underneath. Sitting into that heel as we find that focal point. Big breath in. Exhale, step it back. And then we twist towards the left with those scissor arms. Maybe finding our exalted. Inhale. Exhale, lower that hand down for your runner's twist, where we move into our wild thing. So coming a little left up, gazing towards our fingertips. Inhale. Exhale, gaze to the back of your mat. Step that left foot back for pyramid. So maybe we shift forward and back if that was fun. Maybe you find a little bit of a hop. Or maybe just find stillness. Let your head relax. Big breath in. Exhale, reverse eagle. So bring that right knee behind. Maybe hands come to heart as we squat it down. Inhale. Exhale, step it back for goddess. So heels and toes out. Maybe find some more movement. Maybe find some shoulder dips here. Very popular. Maybe just hold it here. Big breath in. Exhale, moving into half moon at the front of our mat. So lifting up that left arm and leg, flexing through the foot. Big breath here. Exhale, step it back. You're in your runner's lunge, where you can move through a vinyasa or go right to down dog, because we're going to pick up the pace and we're going to create this as an infinity flow. So inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, we bring it through. Inhale, crescent pose. Exhale, moving into our eagle. We step it back and twist for our crescent. Maybe we inhale, lifting up to our exalted. And then left hand is down, right arm up. We inhale, wild thing. Exhale, gaze to the front. Step it forward. Full breath in here for our pyramid pose. Exhale, reverse eagle. We step it back as we inhale, goddess. Exhale to the back, and we inhale, coming into half moon. From here, we lower that hand and foot down, and we're ready for our second side. So we inhale, crescent. Exhale, moving into our eagle, right leg on top, right arm underneath. We step it back, and we twist towards the left. Maybe find that exalted. And then right hand is down, left arm is up. We inhale, wild thing. Exhale, gaze the back, step it back, pyramid pose. Big breath in. Exhale, reverse eagle. We step it back as we inhale, goddess. Exhale towards the front. Inhaling into our half moon. And then we exhale, step it back. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, eagle. Inhale, we step it back. Exhale, we twist. Inhale, maybe find that exalted. Exhale, bring that left hand down, right arm up. Inhale, wild thing. Exhale, gaze the front and step it forward for pyramid. Big breath in. Exhale, reverse eagle. We step it back as we inhale, goddess. Exhale to the back. Inhaling, half moon. We step back here as we exhale. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, moving into our eagle pose. Inhale, step it back. Exhale, twist. Inhale, maybe exalt. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, wide. Exhale, gaze to the back as you step it forward for pyramid. Big breath in. Exhale, reverse eagle. We inhale, goddess. Exhale, half moon. Big breath here. And then we step it back, maybe moving through a vinyasa or making our way to any resting position of choice. That's our peanut butter today. Great work. How you doing? I hope amazing, because you've made it to jelly. Jelly also starts out in down dog, but you'll notice pretty quickly that you get a little bit of ease maybe. So when you're ready, let's make our way there. We are using our energy wisely with our sustainable strength. Okay, let's inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, we move it into our active pigeon. Inhale, coming onto those fingertips. Exhale, we bring it forward and we'll hold it here, breathing into that right cheek as we lean into the left. And then on our inhale, we lift it up, lean into that side. Just like the warm-up, we find the supported version, or we move into our full fallen triangle pose, and we bend the back leg, or we're swinging it forward as we bring the left foot to the top. From here, we're bringing that right knee in towards our chest, and we're taking hold of that knee or the big toe as we extend our leg out to the side. So it doesn't matter if it's bent or straight-ish. Once we find our version, if you want to gaze to the side, you can. If you want to take a bow, you might take a bow by bringing your head forward and your seat back. You might be like, I'm good. I'm on one leg. That's enough. It is enough. So just listen to what you need. And take a big breath in. Exhale, bring that knee in towards your chest. Step it back for sky archer, so our toes are going to face the right. As we reach for that left wrist and lean it back. Thinking about really pushing into the ball mound of the foot as you lean it back so that you feel more space along that side body. Inhale. And as you exhale, gaze down. Pivot your toes to the back for warrior two. So maybe palms face up here, relaxing those shoulders as you gaze past the fingertips. Really strong and straight back leg. Big breath in. Exhale, cartwheel it down. Make your way through a vinyasa or step it back to down dog, because that is our jelly. So inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, we bring it through for that active pigeon. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, we bring it forward and we kind of lean into the side, breathing space into that left cheek. Big breath here. Exhale, and then lift it up, lean into the side for fallen triangle pose. You can bend the back leg, or we're swinging it towards the back of the mat. And we bring that left knee in towards our chest, where we take hold of the knee or that big toe, and we extend the leg out to the side. Maybe we gaze past the shoulder. Maybe we find a bow, but that's totally up to you. And if it feels wobbly and you're falling out, that's okay. It's wobbly. That definitely does happen. But try to bring your shoulders back and lift up through your chest and gaze. Inhale. Exhale, bring that knee in. And then we're stepping it back for sky archer. So those back toes are going to face the left as we take hold of that wrist. Leaning back. Big breath here. Exhale, gaze towards your back foot. Pivot back to the front where we find warrior two. Maybe we bring those palms up. Feel grounded by drawing your tail towards your back heel like there's an anchor there. Big breath in. Exhale, we cartwheel it down, making our way to down dog however you want to get there. And we'll start to pick up the pace on this. So inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, we bring it through. Inhale, active pigeon, we lift. Exhale, forward. Inhale, we lift and lean into the side. Inhale, finding your version of fallen triangle pose. And then we either bend that back leg or we swing it forward. And then right knee draws in the chest. We take that foot or that knee out to the side and then we bring it in. We step it back for sky archer, taking hold of that left wrist. Exhale, gaze to the back. Inhale, warrior two to the back. Exhale, cartwheel it down, making your way to down dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, we bring it through for active pigeon. Inhale, chest lifts. Exhale, forward. Inhale, we lift and lean into the side. Inhale, fallen triangle pose. We bring that right foot towards the back of the mat. We bring that left knee in as we take hold of the knee or the big toe and extend that leg out to the side. We bring it back in and then we step it back, sky archer, and then we gaze the back, pivoting towards the front for warrior two, where we cartwheel it down, making our way to our down dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, we bring it through. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward. Inhale, lift, leaning in. Inhale, fallen triangle pose. Exhale, step it over. Inhale, right knee to chest. Exhale, extend that leg out to the side. We bring it back to center and step it back. Inhale, sky archer. Exhale, gaze back. Inhale, warrior two to the back. Exhale, bring it all the way to your down dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, bring it through. Inhale. Exhale, forward. Inhale, lift, and we shift. Inhale, fallen triangle pose. We bring that right foot to the back of our mat. We bring that left knee into our chest. We extend that leg out to the side and then bring it in. We send it back for sky archer. We gaze to the back, pivot to warrior two, and then we cartwheel it down, making our way to our down dog or any resting position of choice. Oh my goodness, how are you doing? Get a drink of water, towel off, what do you need? Because you've made it to the best part of the practice. It's the best. It is peanut butter and jelly time. So we're bringing these two together one last time. Are you ready? I feel like you are. I'm getting excited just thinking about it. So let's come into our down dog. How's that sound? Amazing. Of course it does. As we come there, we're using our energy wisely with our sustainable strength. All right, let's go. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, we bring it through. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, we move into eagle with left leg on top, left arm underneath. We step it back on our inhale. We open it up to our twist on our exhale. Inhale, exalted. Exhale, bring that hand down. Inhale, wild thing. Exhale, gaze forward. Bring that foot forward and find that pyramid as you inhale. Exhale, reverse eagle. We step it back. Inhale, goddess. Exhale, setting up for our half moon where we inhale here. Exhale, step it back. Inhale. Oh, sorry, we keep our hands down and we go right into our active pigeon. We'll inhale, lifting up through our chest. Exhale, forward. Inhale, we lift and lean into that side so that we can inhale, fallen triangle pose. Exhale, take a step over. Inhale, left knee into chest. We extend that leg out to the side, and then we bring it in and step it back as we inhale, sky archer. Exhale, gaze to the back. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, cartwheel it down, making your way to your down dog, which means the first side is done. Let's go. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, we bring it through. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, eagle, right leg on top, right arm underneath. Inhale, step it back. Exhale, we twist. Inhale. Exhale, hand comes down. Inhale, wild thing. Exhale, gaze forward, step it forward for pyramid pose. Full breath in. Exhale, reverse eagle. We step it back as we inhale, goddess. Exhale, moving into our half moon at the back. And then we bring that hand down. Left foot comes down as we push into the mat, moving into our active pigeon. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, forward. Inhale, we lift and lean so that we inhale, moving into fallen triangle pose. Exhale, take that step over or swing as we bring that right knee in. Extending that leg out to the side. And then knee comes in. We step it back for sky archer. We gaze it back, pivot to 2, and then we cartwheel it all the way down, making our way to down dog or any resting pose because you did it. Amazing work. I hope you feel so accomplished. Find your way into a seated position. To slow down your breath and just take a moment to let the feelings sink in. It's also a good time to check in to see what you need. If there's any other poses you want, please do it. If you want to make your way to your back for a traditional Shavasana next, do it. If you just prefer to stay in a seated position, do it. But as you make your way to your space, see if you can just let go. So no holding, tensing, gripping. Give yourself this time to surrender, allowing all the benefits of the practice to sink in, which you deserve. And know as you come into this final space that you did an amazing job. Be proud of yourself and know that I'm so proud of you as you make your way into your version of Shavasana. As always, feel free to stay here as long as you like, but if you're ready, bring in some movement as we meet in the seated position of choice, bringing those hands to heart and tucking our chin under. And I just want to thank you so much for practicing with me today. I want to thank you so much for using your energy wisely and having sustainable strength by listening to what you need at the moment. And until next time, namaste.